rotation of population assistance worldwide. And by now Spring was well weary of his own staff's nostalgic stories of Piper's offensive mouthing off to African presidents. Why, you would never guess from their fond reminiscences that many of those same staff members had ratted on this glorified game show host at their first opportunity. All right, Spring was aware he wasn't colorful. He did not travel with a green monkey. He did not gratuitously insult statesmen. He did not detest the very people he was employed to assist, and his pockets did not spill black, red, and yellow condoms every time he reached for his handkerchief. Behind his back, Spring vilified Piper, but perhaps to compensate for going all gooey face to face. Here was a character whose politics, having veered so far left they had ended on the far right instead, Spring deplored as uncompassionate and irresponsible. Spring aspired to despise Piper, but he would never get that far. He would only be free to dislike the urbane, unruffleable, horribly wry has-been once sure that Piper adored and respected him first. That is, never. And Piper made him feel fat. Piper was the older, although he didn't look it, and was surely one of those careless types who never gave a thought to what they ate, while Spring jogged 4 joyless miles a day and had given up ice cream. "You ruined that cook's day, you know." Calvin was commenting about the Ascari. "He loved barring my way. You get a lot of Wazungu rolling their eyes about Africans and bureaucracy, how they revel in its petty power, but how they don't understand it, wielding stamps and forms like children playing office. I've come to believe they understand bureaucracy perfectly well. After all, most petty power isn't petty at all, is it? These tiny people can stick you back on your plane, impound your whiskey, cut off your electricity, and keep you out of conferences you so desperately wish to attend. Bureaucracy is a weapon, and there is no pleasure greater than turning artillery on just the people who taught you to use it." "Calvin," implored the director, "do keep your theories quiet this week. I'm off for some wine." Leaving the man toothpicking pineapple to his ill-tempered monkey, Spring felt sheepish for having let the rogue inside. He was haunted by childhood fairy tales in which the aggrieved, uninvited relative arrives at the christening anyway, to curse the child. It was a mistake to exhort Calvin to keep his mouth shut. Had Spring encouraged enthusiastic participation in the interchange of controversial ideas, Piper might have loitered listlessly in the back, thumbing abstracts. Instead, Calvin perched with his pet in the front row of a session on infant mortality, making just the kind of scandal sure to see its way into the Nairobi papers the next day. "Why are we still trying to reduce infant mortality?" Piper inquired, "when it is precisely our drastic reduction of the death rate that created uncontrolled population growth in the first place? Why not leave it alone? Why not even let it go up a little? He did not say a lot, but might as well have." The room stirred, coughs, heads and hands. The moderator interceded. "It is well established by now, Dr. Piper, that reduction of infant mortality must precede a drop in fertility. Families have extra children as an insurance factor, and once they find most of those children surviving, they adjust their family size accordingly, etc. This is kindergarten demography, Dr. Piper. We can dispense with this level of discussion. Miss Davis." "On the contrary," Calvin pursued, "all of Africa illustrates that fallacy. Death rates have been plummeting since 1950, and birth rates remain high. So we keep more children alive to suffer and starve. I would propose instead that this conference pass a resolution to retract all immunization programs in countries with growth rates of higher than 2%. The session went into an uproar. "Moderator," cried a woman from the Population Reference Bureau, "can we please have it on record that this conference does not support the death of babies?" The next day, the headline in Nairobi's Daily Nation read, "Pop Council Conference. Let children die." Like everyone else, she had heard he was there, caught the flash of defiant black hair, the screech of his sidekick, and had craned